The future of the Atlanta Falcons might have just been revealed on the very first day of mini camp. Explosive plays, unexpected moves, a rookie turning heads, and one major quarterback surprise that nobody saw coming. This isn't just another practice. This is the start of a new chapter in Atlanta. If you're a real fan, you need to know what went down. This could be the spark of something special. The Atlanta Falcons just kicked off their first day of mandatory minicamp, and even though it wasn't a full-speed, high-contact practice, there's a lot to talk about. This day gave us some early clues about the direction the team might be heading. The vibe on the field? Pretty laid back overall, as expected for this stage of the offseason. It was more about walkthroughs, basic drills, and just getting everyone back in rhythm. The players were mostly running routes without defenders, focusing on timing, form, and execution. But even in a lighter session like this, something caught everyone's attention, and it had to do with the quarterback position. Emory Jones, yes, the rookie was taking first-team snaps during 11-on-11 drills. That was unexpected. Usually you'd expect the more experienced guys to run with the starters, but not today. It looked like the coaches were being very cautious with Michael Penix Jr., likely trying to avoid any risk of injury. That makes sense, especially with how valuable Penix is to the team's future. Still, seeing Emory Jones out there leading drills raised eyebrows. Was this just a one-day thing, or are the Falcons quietly trying to give the rookie some meaningful reps? That's a question we'll be watching all offseason. Now let's talk about the biggest standout of the day, Jaylen Walker. Fans, reporters, and even teammates couldn't stop talking about him. His speed, his power, his energy. It was clear he looked like the best player on the field. That's not an exaggeration. Jarvis Davis summed it up perfectly in a tweet. He said Jaylen Walker's get off, meaning how fast he explodes off the line, was straight up. And he's not the only one saying it. Across Twitter, X, and NFL circles, people are raving about this kid. He looked fast, sharp, and totally locked in. Let's not forget, this guy is a first-round pick. You expect talent. But what we saw on day one, that looked like top 5 level talent. Now it's way too early to start predicting double-digit sacks or comparing him to the league's best pass rushers. But what you can say is, this guy is off to a red-hot start. And when your top draft pick comes out and dominates like that on day one, that's what you want. That's exactly what the fans needed to see. Before we get into who was at practice and who wasn't, just know, this wasn't a throwaway day. There were signs, there were sparks, and the energy felt different. Now I want to hear from you, Falcons fans. What did you think of Emory Jones getting those reps? Are you buying the Jaylen Walker hype already, or do you need to see more before jumping on the train? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This team is building something, and your voice matters. And don't forget, we're just getting started. If day one looked like this, imagine what's coming next. Now let's get into the big question everyone's been asking. Who was missing from Falcons minicamp, and why? A tweet from Falcons insider Torrey McElhaney gave us the full list of players who were not active on day one of mandatory minicamp. And honestly, it's a bit concerning. Here's who sat out. Wide receiver Kadarrell Hodge, tight end Kyle Pitts, cornerback Kevin King, inside linebacker Troy Anderson, outside linebacker Braylon, Trice offensive tackle Caleb McGarry, defensive lineman David Onyemata, and Morgan Fox. Most of these absences are injury-related, which isn't shocking at this time of year. The team is being cautious, trying not to rush anyone back too soon, but one name on that list stands out, Morgan Fox. Head coach Raheem Morris cleared that up quickly, saying Fox had an excused absence, so no drama there. But let's talk about the real mystery here. Kyle Pitts. He was in the building, but he wasn't practicing, and that has fans buzzing. Is he still rehabbing? Are the coaches being overly cautious? Or, and here's the juicy rumor, is a trade being quietly discussed behind closed doors? No one knows for sure, but one thing's clear. Pitts not practicing is a big deal. He's a key piece of this offense when healthy, but the fact that he's not out there with the team has people talking. We'll be watching this situation very closely in the days ahead. Now let's shift to something that caught a few sharp-eyed fans by surprise. James Pierce Jr., the rookie edge rusher with massive potential, was on the field, but not heavily involved in team drills. He wasn't just standing around, though. He was working one-on-one with veteran Leonard Floyd, going over pass rushing techniques and learning from one of the best. And he had a long session with the defensive line coach, too. That tells us something important. The Falcons are being very careful with how they develop Pierce. They're likely grooming him as a pass rush specialist, someone who can explode off the edge in key situations. They're not throwing him into everything just yet. They're building him up slowly, refining his technique, and setting him up for long-term success. And when you compare that to how they're handling Jaylen Walker, the difference is clear. Walker is being thrown into everything. Team drills, full-speed reps, even leadership roles. He's already being treated like a future captain. The Falcons clearly see him as more than just a player. They see a tone setter, a culture builder, and that's why he's out there leading the charge. It's early, sure, but this coaching staff is already making serious decisions about who they want to build around. And from what we've seen so far, Jaylen Walker is rising fast. What do you think is going on with Kyle Pitts? Should we be worried about his future in Atlanta? Or is this just preseason caution? And how excited are you about James Pierce and Jaylen Walker? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear every fan voice. Ready for the next section? Send it my way, and I'll rewrite it with the same emotional intensity and clean, clear storytelling. Now here's something that really caught people's attention. Kirk Cousins was at practice, and he spoke. And what he said? It wasn't just honest, it was powerful. Cousins stood in front of the media, fully aware of the situation he's in. This is a guy who has spent years as a starter, leading offenses, putting up big numbers, and earning respect across the league. But now, he's a backup, and he knows it. Still, Cousins didn't complain. He didn't pout. He showed nothing but class. He said clearly, "I'm here right now. I'm supporting Michael Penix. Of course, I'd love to play, but that may or may not happen. And because of that, I'm here as an Atlanta Falcon." That's not just professionalism, that's leadership. Sure, Cousins wants to be on the field. That competitive fire is still burning, but instead of creating tension or drama, he's choosing to lead from the sidelines, to mentor, to help Penix grow. And this is exactly the kind of presence a young quarterback needs. Right now, the Falcons' plan is clear. Michael Penix Jr. is being groomed to take over, and Kirk Cousins, for now, is the safety net, a proven veteran who can step in if needed, but who's also helping to guide the future from behind the scenes. It was a light practice. No pads, no full-speed collisions, just walkthroughs, team reps, and coaching. But even on a calm day, you could feel the energy shift when Cousins spoke. He owned the moment. Meanwhile, Jaylen Walker once again turned heads. Even in a low-intensity session, his burst, his confidence, and his hunger stood out. Every time he steps onto the field, he's making a louder and louder case for why he could become the face of this new Falcons defense. So yeah, it was a chill day overall. But don't let that fool you. Big stories are already unfolding in Flowery Branch. How do you feel about Cousins accepting the backup role? Should the Falcons consider giving him a shot if Penix struggles early? Or is it time to let the rookie take the reins fully? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let your voice be heard. This is your team too.